Hello everyone, my name is Seema and today I would like to share with you few important points which you need to remember when you are preparing a pitch deck looking for investors for your startup or for your product. So recently I got a chance to participate in one of the prestigious programs by the government of Karnataka, and our product was shortlisted in the final round of the program. uh, by participating in this event, I was able to understand some key points which has to be part of our pitch deck. And today, I would like to use this opportunity to share the same with all of you so that it helps you to make a very presentable pitch deck for your own startup or product. So to start with, when you're preparing a presentation for your startup or product, so keep always the first slide to represent your company name and your logo, which you would like to showcase always because you would want the jury members to remember your name, your company name, and the logo. Before you start presenting the solution, always start with explaining them the current problem that you're trying to solve with your startup or product. So, what matters is who you are, what you are doing, for whom you're doing, and why you're doing. So, it doesn't matter how you're doing, the jury members may not be interested in knowing that, but it really matters on what is the problem that you're trying to solve with your product. So always start with that. Then you can go on to explain the innovation side of your product or your startup. So with respect to innovation, you can have a video of the prototype or the POC that you have developed, or if you already have the beta version of your product which is already in life, you could probably show them how it works. Elaborate on how unique is your idea or product. So they need to understand that your idea is really innovative. It is something which can crack the market. So focus on innovation, and if it is a physical uh, model or a physical device which you are developing, then if it is something which you can carry with you, please go ahead and do that. But if it is something, a software or a SaaS model which you are still not yet released, it is something in the starting stage, you can always take a video of the prototype that you're working on. The next important thing, this is specifically when you're looking for some government funding, agencies, they would like to understand what is the social impact of your product. For example, you can say that okay, your product is going to empower women, or your product is going to empower the farmers, or you're helping to deal with environment pollutions, or your product is going to bring some awareness to society. So if it does have a social impact, you need to highlight that. At the same time, you also need to highlight the economic impact. So when I say the economic impact, yes, we all make products, and finally, our motive or our interest is that our product has to it has to make money, it has to contribute to our country's economy. At the same time, when you present the economic change because of your product, you have to explain how it is going to um, how do I say it? Okay, it's like the chain of economy. For example, I'll give you a simple example. Now, say that okay, you have a product like Swiggy, which is a food delivery app. Now, the restaurants are making money, the delivery boys are making money. So it's although you're making money from your product, there is a sector of society who are also making money because of you. So the economic impact is not something which you should showcase based on the profit which your product is going to make, but also highlight how the chain of economy is impacted with your product. The next important thing for your presentation should be the scalability. So always Tell the jury members that how your solution can be scalable, because they're always interested to know that okay, today you have say 100 customers, tomorrow when 1,000 customers come to your using your product, can your product sustain that kind of load? Is the architecture capable of handling the scalability? So one is the solution scalability, if it's on the software side, or if it's on the hardware side, and say that okay, you are in a manufacturing place where you're doing some products. If there's a demand, how are you going to able to supply the product? Or if you're using some hardware which is you're purchasing from say a different country or a different vendor, and when you have the demand, how are you going to procure that? So scalability is overall scalability. If it's a software, how the solution is scalable. If it is hardware, how are you going to take care of the produce? So all that should be part of your scalability. The next one is a business model, and this again, as I told you, the economic chain comes into picture. But at the same time, it's very important for you to understand what is the DNA of your product or of your startup. For example, now say that okay, you're into garment business, and you also have an app that is helping you to with your garment business. Now you can decide that okay, this app what you have is something which can be used by all the garment business people across the globe, which itself is a product. Or you can forget about the tech part of it and just focus on okay, how you're going to improve your brand value of your garment business. So it's the decision is completely yours. So you could make money from the tech part of it, or you could make money from your own business part of it. But whatever it is, whatever you decide, that has to be your DNA, and your business model has to be based on that. So when we say a business model, you need to have the figures with you. You may not have the exact figures, but the jury members need to understand that you have made enough homework, and you understand that okay, yes, my product is going to bring in at least this much percentage of revenue. That calculation has to be ready, and you should have it presented very crystal clear to the jury members, without without giving any don't give them an idea that you haven't thought about it, or you don't have any idea of the business model of your product. For example, if I give you a small example, say you can showcase the revenue using graphs, you can use pictorial representation, but have some figures. Okay, this is what I anticipate roughly, that this is what going to be the revenue from my product. So from this, they should be able to get a clear vision of your business model, and how it is going to benefit them if they were to invest in your product. How quickly can they get returns from their investment? For example, if a person is going to invest say 1 crore, definitely he would expect to return back say 5 crores say after 10 years. I'm 100% confident that they will not be expecting you to say okay, you invest 1 crore, I'll give you 2 crores in 1 year. No, every mature investor understands that his money, it will take time to bring in the returns. And if you show him a picture of okay, this is what is going to be my revenue model, then I'm very sure that they will be interested in funding you or investing in your product. The next important key thing is a roadmap. So roadmap, you need to have a vision for your product. I'm sure all of us will have an immediate roadmap and something which we look forward to enhance our product or scale up in the next 5 to 10 years. But have that roadmap, have that vision in your presentation, so that they understand that okay, you're not only thinking of the short term benefits, you're also thinking of the long term. You're passionate about your product, and you have a vision for your product. That is very important. So the next slide is very similar. So it is the roadmap. What are your long term goals? Now, for example, now say that okay, today you're giving only software as a solution, and tomorrow you may want to integrate that with some hardware and you want to give both. So at this particular point of time, initially say you're pitching in only to sell the software and your long-term goal is both. You can mention that in the presentation that okay, you have this plan to take care of that in the future. The last slide that I have is on questions. So this is where we all once the presentation is done and see we present it very well, and when it comes to the questions we don't really think about it too much. We do anticipate okay what kind of questions can come and try to prepare for it, but what is more important is that to remember a jury is always a group of members. So you may have 3 members or 5 members, and each one of them would love to ask you questions, and they're also bound by time. So you need to make sure that your answers are short so that every jury members gets a chance to answer their questions. So you answer a question, you try to drag it or elaborate it, then the other jury members are getting frustrated that they don't have a chance to ask their questions because of lack of time, and that can lead to improper decisions. So you definitely do not want to give a chance to lose the opportunity after doing a very good presentation by just not giving them a chance to ask their questions. So make sure that your answers are short and you give a chance for all the members to ask their questions. Thank you very much. I hope that this video helps you all to present your pitch deck for your startups or products that you're working on. I wish you all the best. Feel free to provide your feedback on my video, ask me questions, and if it is something that I can help you from my experience or knowledge, I would definitely try to answer all your questions. Thank you once again and have a very good day.